what do you want to do with your music? What do you want to say? You know, your message with your music. What do you think?
Well, I always had the feeling that I'm not allowed to say too much because it might be too radical.
But
yeah, now I'm feeling more that I should say something.
Yeah.
You know, like there should be, like everyone should. I mean, I grew up in like the 70s and the 80s, and everyone that was doing music,
I know
actually,
exactly.
they said something. You know, there was like a voice with it. But I remember when I first started doing like music and I signed to a major record, and I signed a contract with them. And one of the things that they said in the contracts that like I'm not allowed to put anything political in mind. So it became like, because they realized that people were actually putting things across with music.
The music connection.
They started to say things like, you know, you're not allowed to do this. You know what I mean? Because it must have started to get really sensitive.
Yeah.
So I kind of got in it of just doing the music. But yeah, now I mean, every day it gets more and more obvious what's happening, you know, like
because it's around.
The center of it was America, and this whole war thing over the last few years was America, and like they spent a lot of money doing that.
For sure.
And then all of a sudden, everyone's bailing them out. I mean, the entire planet is like bailing them out for war, and it's like, well,
what's happening?
Why are we bailing someone out who's going? He's like going around, like killing people and like, you know, telling, I mean, as far as I can see, there's like a lot of lies and like blaming people for things, and you know, it's like, I mean, what, you know, his term is going to be up soon.
What do you think about war? There is good wars or bad wars?
All wars bad. I can't think of any war that's like, you know, if
justified wars.
One life is lost, it's bad, you know, like, you know, it's murder. I mean, like, if I go to someone and like, you know, I want to take their thing and I kill them or kill one of their family, or you know, or arrest them and take them somewhere for no reason at all and torture them, you know, it's negative. It's not. There's no positive outcome to that whatsoever. You know, like there's nothing that's gonna, you know,
everything.
Yeah, basically what that's gonna create is more. You know, if I've got a gun, right, it's going to create, you know, someone at some point, if I make people aware that I've got this, they're going to have guns too, you know what I mean, and like, and so on, you know what I mean. It doesn't like subtract, it multiplies, you know what I mean. There's always going to be more. If you've got violence, there's going to be more violence. You can't win with violence, you know. You can't put violence to make peace. It doesn't work.
What do you think about the 9/11? Something like about the 9/11? A bird told me that could be an inside job. You know?
Well, I'll tell you something. Like, I was actually in New York when that happened, and like I remember going to my kitchen window with a video camera and like filming smoke coming from the first building, and then there was a second explosion. And
explosion.
I never heard any airplanes. I never heard an airplane. I mean, like, I mean, you saw. I mean, I'm probably totally crazy, but I never. I mean, like, if
was like.
I heard airplanes flying over. I was actually in the flight. I was in Brooklyn, but I was also in the flight path to JFK, so I heard airplanes all the time. I never heard any airplanes going by or anything to hit anything, apart from like maybe about 7 or 8 hours later, a few fighter jets flew over. I seen explosions. I heard like the police going there, and we started to hear like sirens and stuff like that. When the buildings went down, one of them actually was the TV tower. So the television went off, so we had no TV, apart from one TV station, which was WNYU. But like, there's another thing I couldn't figure out is like how like these buildings managed to fall so perfectly and all. I mean, like I actually went not to the site but near it, and like then I seen like the barrier stuff, and like, you know, there was all this smoke, and but it just looked to me like someone blew it up. There was there was nothing to show. I don't know. I mean, like they shown like bits of an airplane later and like all this stuff. But I mean, like maybe that happened. But like an airplane flying into the side of a building and then the building falling straight down. 2 airplanes.
And 2 buildings at the same time, nearly.
And then the third one was nothing to do with the airplane.
Something, and then straight after this, like, I mean, let me tell you actually, before this actually happened, right, like, maybe, like, half a year before it happened, I was, like, thinking, wow, America's getting really, the dollars, because I was watching the dollar and the pound, because I was like, doing this thing with England and America, and like I noticed that the dollar was starting to go right down, really, really badly. And then when they had the voting problem, where they had to actually go to the courts to put the new president in.
Yeah, the Miami thing.
The recount.
They actually, I think the banks or whatever, the financial institutions of the world started to lose confidence in America, and like basically was going through the floor. And then like all of a sudden, like they elected this new guy who instantly, before anyone knew anything, put a war cabinet together. It's like, hang on a minute. So America is broke, and we're putting a war cabinet together, and then straight from this, like, we're attacked by 2 airplanes, like by guys with box knives, and then the buildings fall straight down. They don't fall sideways or anything. And if you watch the news in America at the time, some of the fire engine guys were actually saying there was explosions, and you could see the explosions.
Yes, and you heard them yourself, no?
Yeah, you could, and I don't know, I think, it just, I mean, for me, it doesn't add up, it doesn't add up different, it was like something, with all the stuff that happened, like, previously, it just felt like someone was definitely working something. I didn't know what it was, what I mean? Like, I knew that there was definitely something going on there, like, I didn't know it was going to change the way that we were going to live or anything, but you knew that definitely, when they kind of mentioned it was like these people from Iraq, and like, and then they instantly went to Iraq, like, and did this whole thing, and then Afghanistan, and it was like, well, this must have been like really planned out, like they had this whole, they got their cabinet together, it's, I don't know, I mean, we don't know where they're going with it now, what I mean? I know definitely, like, if they get a chance, all the banks that have collapsed, all this monetary stuff is going to be bailed out by a few powerful people, and these people then are going to be controlling your credit cards, basically. And then once they've got control of that, then basically your house, everything is
and
basically.
Put the army on the streets.
Yeah, it's basically the future is there to see now. It's
something for the new generation, Gerald. Something you want to tell to the new generation?
I would say to the new generation, like, wake up a little bit.
Against War, a musical project. Who would you like to work with? Artists that you would think would work together on something like War is Illegal projects.
I don't know, not Bob Geldof anyway.
Bob Geldof. After the G8 in Scotland.
I don't know.
Disaster, catastrophe.
I mean, anyone that was interested. I mean, like, I think mainly like underground artists, because you'd know that there'd be some actual like people with their feet on the floor who are willing to kind of push some stuff forward. You know what I mean? Like